Hello, welcome to July update on what's happening in my garden in July. You might be able to see from that video, from this angle, the light at the top of the garden. I've already posted a video about the changes that have happened regarding the large cherry tree in the garden. I don't know how to do a link, but anyway, the video is up there. So let's make a start. I've got a nice little bouquet from some of the flowers that got knocked down during the tree being pollarded, but otherwise not much damage really. We did lose some lavender, so I have just been and spotted this lavender, so I'm going to make a little lavender hedge up the top, so that'll be lovely next year. Right, the pots here, I've added moved some pots, a sweeping brush in the way there. We have the cosmos growing in this pot. There's wild carrot and other little plants I've done from seedlings. I'm just keeping an eye on them being munched by snails. It looks like that one's had a bit of a munch, so I'll come out tonight and check them for snail damage. Yeah, that's got eaten, so which I expected it might, but these are still going fine. So, and we've got the Japanese anemone as well, looking very healthy, but don't flower for a little while yet. The honeysuckle is just going over. It's been absolutely lovely. There are some buds still left on it, but it is past its peak now. So still some buds on it. The path is also going over. The fleabane's fine, but the herb robbert's going over now, and the lemon balm is beginning to flower. Still got this plant that I still don't know. I'm going to look this up, but it's definitely forming a little flower head there, so find out what it is shortly, I'm sure. Sweet peas are just beginning to flower. There's the first flower of the sweet pea. Lots of buds on there to open. Tomatoes are looking very, very lush, and they've got lots of flowers on. It amazes me because I do usually see bees on them, but I haven't spotted any bees, but there's already tomatoes growing, so I know they're getting fertilised. Not fertilised, sorry, pollinated. More cosmos and some cornflower we've got there. This is a blueberry, but new, so it won't produce any flowers this year. Next year when that produces. All the mints are doing really well, different mints that we've got. This is Moroccan mint, we've got a chocolate mint, that's absolutely gorgeous, and this one is strawberry mint. Also got some, I think this is thyme here, lovely thyme, and that's a bit of rosemary that I took from, you buy those pots of rosemary in the supermarket, because I lost a rosemary as well, so that's doing really well. This shrub is now in flower, but I'm not sure what it is at all, and it's normally got bees on it, but I haven't seen any bees on it yet. But the weather's glum, not cold, but it's been grey, so I don't see so many insects about when the sun's not out. Continuing up the path, we've got hydrangea coming into flower, some ginormous oh gosh, what they're called, forgot the name of them. It's silly. I haven't grown these for quite a few years. Oh, and we've got some lovely black fly on there. Leaves are too big because the soil's probably too rich for them, so it produces leaves above the flowers really. I was going to say Nicotiana, but it's not Nicotiana, is it? Nasturtiums, of course. And we've got a clematis in the background, and another clematis here that I'm tending to. That's a winter flowering clematis down there, so hoping that will keep growing. It's in a deep pot to get the roots going, and then I'll plant it out. I've got a little pot on the wall with some wildflower mixing, and a lovely basket there of nasturtiums and Alison. Not nasturtiums, I just said that, didn't I? Of fuchsia and Alison. We've got a lovely bit of fennel growing here that's self-seeded. These are my little attempts at doing bonsai, but that's growing in there, so I'll have to get that out, separate it from the tree. And this one's ash. That one's doing fine. This one's the ash. This one is some kind of maple, variegated maple, and this is another kind of maple, a normal maple. I'm hoping I can keep those small. A buddleia here, and a lovely mallow that's coming to flower. Gorgeous mallow here. Step back so you can see this honeysuckle here, absolutely loaded with flowers. Smells lovely in the evening. Lots of green fly and black fly on it, but I've noticed blue tits and great tits visiting it, and sparrows. I don't use any chemicals, so you do get insects, black fly on it, but you know, it still flowers really well, as you can see, and the perfume is beautiful. Then we've got this, which I thought was going to be a different plant to what it is. Oh, there's a little bee hiding inside there. Can you see it? Probably sleeping in there. It's probably oops. It's probably a yellow-faced bee having a little snooze in there. I'm not sure what it. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a little yellow-faced bee snoozing in there. We've got everlasting sweet pea coming up. Johnson's blue has finished flowering now, could do with being cut back a bit and do a little second flush. We've got this lovely bellflower here. It's a trailer, the bees love it. It's also great on north facing. We've got it out the front of the house, which is north facing, and it does really well out there. A basket of wild strawberries, lots of flowers on it, and strawberries just coming in. Keep pinching them as I go up the garden. Toad flax, looking really nice, growing in this pot. We've also got this yellow daisy that comes up later in the year. I forget the name of it. Beautiful yellow daisy with a black, oh, spotted something else, with a black centre. This is nettle bellflower, and these snails, I've never seen these snails in my garden before. Yeah, some nice new snail I've spotted. They obviously like that. They're not eating it, but they're resting on it. In the background I've got some more sweet pea. The buddleia, as I said, is struggling. It's put some growth on, but normally this is towering above neighbours. I mean, it's not produced anything like it used to produce. As I say, it's very old. Fuchsia is absolutely laden with flowers and busy with bees. Probably heard one buzzing there. Can you hear the green finches up the garden? Green, I can hear green finches chirruping. Yeah, the green finches are visiting the sunflower hearts. To go backwards and have a look at where's my potting. Oh, look what we've got here. This little insect, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. This little insect here is a predator of solitary bees. Oh, can we see it? It's so small. Just gone under there, and it's got a very peculiar name. Oh, I've disturbed it, but yeah, that's a good little insect to have in the garden. It shows you've got a healthy garden. The margarita coming out, and I think it's around here because this is where the solitary bees feed a lot of margarita. Here we've got my carrots. Not sure how. Oh, that's a little. There's lots of carrots, but I think I've forgot to thin them out, so I'm not sure how many carrots we'll get. But anyway, nice blue. This is that salvia. My broccoli's still here, and I'm nursing a little cabbage white caterpillar on it. If I can find it, it hides very well, but you can see it's been munching away. So we had one butterfly in the garden a couple of weeks, more than that, about 3 weeks ago. Landed on here, laid its eggs and off, and not seen a butterfly since really. So I'm nurturing that little. Oh, there it is. You can see it. Here it is. As long as the blue tits don't spot it. There it is. Oh, I'll move the camera in. Whoa. Let's see. Make sure if it'll focus. I'll try to find where I am. There it is. Little cabbage white butterfly caterpillar. It's more than welcome to munch on those. In the solitary bee boxes we've got lots of mason bees. I've done there. We marked them with a felt pen, so we know they're this year's. Lots of mason bee activity at the beginning of the year. So they're doing well, and there's more up the top. There's a sparrow just flying over my head. They're visiting. When I come in the garden, they expect food, and I haven't brought any out yet. Well, they've had the first lot. Right, let's keep going. We've got lots of asters here doing well, just beginning to flower. There's a flower bud there, and this one's already flowering. Great source of nectar for bees. Bees do seem to love aster flowers. There's lots of marjoram coming up and ready to flower. This one's got its flower buds on. But the weather's not good at the moment. It's set to be a sort of rainy week ahead, which isn't helping with the insects and the butterflies in particular. As I say, I'm just not seeing butterflies at all. It's been a really bad year for butterflies in our garden. More wild strawberries there, lots to eat on there. Another honeysuckle in the hedge, in the ivy hedge. Clematis here, due to flower in a couple of weeks' time. The lavender is full of buds. Sweet peas, lots and lots and lots of sweet peas. More cosmos, California poppy, borage, quite a lot of borage growing. Some alliums coming up here. These are great alliums. Looks like my rhubarb needs cutting, plucking, pulling. That's some pie. Strawberries over here. We've got more nettle bellflower in this pot, along with I forget the name of this plant. Has a beautiful blue flower on it later in the year. The poppies have just finished. Poppy heads are just developing. Oh gosh, that lavender, as I'm brushing through it. The cistus has finished flowering now. Goldenrod, lots and lots of goldenrod. Great, bees love that. Honeybees in particular seem to love that later in the year. I've got some chives in a pot down there. Then onto the big bed, we've got geranium, these lovely alliums. The bees love these. There was a bee asleep on there the other day. Been on there all night. The Joe Pye plant is now taller than me in places, and that will be opening up in the next couple of weeks. Almost there to open. Over here we've got Russian sage, got lots of creeping jenny. There's another bellflower down there. A lovely geranium that's just finished flowering now. Just a little group of flowers left there from the geranium. We've got this lovely David Austin rose. Oh, it smells beautiful. Not very bee friendly though, as you can see. They can get in there, but it's quite dense there. More strawberries and sweet William growing there. Look at this. This is wild strawberries here. I think I might just pinch one of those. I might pinch two. And I might pinch three. This is some thyme growing here, really low growing thyme, and it looks like a poppy has self-seeded in there. A couple of wildflowers have self-seeded in there. Don't know the name of this shrub. It has a pink sort of bottle brush flower on it, absolutely loved by yellow-faced bees. We go at the back of the border. All the lovely Sicilian lilies are finished now. Look at the seed heads, I love them. They always remind me of the Disney palace, or Disneyland, the turrets at the top. I love the way they fold up. Leave them for ages. And more of them there. And amongst the mollis. Look gorgeous, look at that. So gorgeous. More borage and verbena borealis. This was from Joel's Wilder Garden, one of their plants that I ordered. It's doing really well. There, lots of it coming up. Because I had it last year, a lot in the garden last year, but normally it self-seeds, but it just didn't. I think the spring we've had didn't have any self-seeding. We've got, just spotted a lovely moth. Oh, and a frog. Frog in here. The frogs love it in here because all the snails are in here and the slugs. I don't think we can see him. There he is. Oh, can you see him? Oh, or her. Lovely little frog. That's a great little spot. Okay, Mr. Frog, off you go. This rose was presented to me when I retired. Again, it's not really bee friendly, but it's a beautiful rose. Sometimes you have to have some beauty. As this rose is, well, we've lived here 30 years and it was in when we came 30 years ago. So that's perfect for the bees. Both mauve and white geranium and pink geranium all in flower. Foxglove, Pyracanthus, producing berries too. Oh, and this one comes back every year. Geranium here, and it's massive. I don't know what geranium that's going to be. Marguerite. Get through. Step over. Potatoes are here at the moment. Flowered already. Some self-seeded teasel. Astrantia, white one. It's got a lovely bee on there, I think. Little look. Some kind of little insect in there at the moment. Clematis and rose mix there, and a jasmine just coming into flower. Lots of honesty seedlings. I think those will be white ones from the year before. And honesty seeds from this year. These are pink ones. Still a little bit of flower on the red campion. That's pink. Yep. Further on. Not much coming up in our long grass, but it's a lovely border for insects to hide in. Just a few daisies coming up in it at the moment. Oxeye daisy. I think this plant has a lovely blue ball flower on it. I'm forgetting them. I'm going to pour. This is Arinthium. I think it's called Arinthium. You can see in the background what's left of the jet by the hedge. A few seedlings. I haven't looked on to see if there's any caterpillars. Just have a little search. Frog spit, but not sure if there's any caterpillars. I only saw one orange tip in the garden. I'm not sure if we'll find any. More nettle bellflower and a lovely white snowberry bush just coming into flower. This border is full of geraniums. Hosta got a bit damaged when the tree was taken down. I'm sure it'll still flower there. Hopefully the flower heads haven't been damaged. Been in this pot for so long, I'm amazed it comes up every year, to be honest. Mock orange, lemon balm. This Weigella's just going over, needs to be cut back. Obviously the big change is here, because now the cherry tree is heavily pollarded. A dense tree is now full of light and air, beautifully shaped, and flooding the garden with light now. I've got a mixture of rose, it's going a bit wild there, and snowberry on that fence. Got some heather, lovely flower that flowers later in the year. There's a daisy, foxgloves. I noticed on this plant, I think it might be wild carrot. We've got these little markings are from an insect. It nibbles on the leaves, sawfly larvae. Lovely little wildflower here growing. Can you hear the bee on the Jerusalem sage? I think I've just disturbed its buff-tail. Oxeye daisy. This rose, although it looks like it's not much, the bees do like this, especially tree bees. It's going over now, most of it's been pollinated. One or two still to pollinate. There's one that needs pollinating. But yeah, the tree bees love it. Here we've got some lamb's ear. Now the light's on it, hopefully it'll do better, but it's just beginning to flower. We've got another solitary bee coming in there. There we go. Can you see the solitary bee there? Let's focus. There we go. Lovely. This part's still dense. We've got another honeysuckle here in flower. It falls into the fuchsia. There is a hop growing in there. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a hop, but I'm not sure it's getting enough light there, but it's growing amongst the ivy. Down here we've got two, these are for the ovify larvae. They're called lagoon. Oops, sorry about the fingers. They're called lagoons, ovifly lagoons. and yeah, just record how many hoverfly larvae are in them. The one at the back had got quite a few in the last time I checked. There was about 9 or 10 in there. This one hadn't got so many, it needs some more grass in there, but there's, yeah, I'll check that again in a couple of weeks. We've got some Ericium here. Again, this is from, this one is from Joel's Wild Garden, and obviously Nepeta seems to be coming on now, but that's so little sunlight. All of the flowers are struggling. Need a lot of sun. And as we go up, there's lots of untidiness because I've had to move things for the tree surgeon. Pond's looking fine. Lots of little froglets around, and still the odd tadpole. If I zoom in, it's this tadpole at the back there. Chew. Excuse me. The apple, the dewdrop seems to have taken most of the crop. I can't see where the apples on the apple tree. This shrub just coming into flower. I'm not sure of the name of it. My husband bought it for us. It was our wedding anniversary I think it was about 20 years ago. It does thrive on a hard cut back, so once it's finished I'll cut it back hard. Up to the fruit bed. Raspberries are doing really well. Lots of raspberries, lots of white currant, and lots of red currants. We've got holly berries. It's only a small holly, but quite a few berries on it this year. Lovely mock orange in the back, Philadelphus, with a dog rose behind it. And then our blackberries are coming up in a minute. This is just producing its berries too. It's flowered lovely this year. It's the first time it's flowered this well in a long time. And this is called something rose, isn't it? I've got the name. And it's always been eaten by a beetle every year. It's never struggled, but this year it's been fabulous. My enormous dog rose up there. With a little bit of a cutback because it's not flowering as well as it was. The wheelbarrow with buttercup seams gone over, a bit of clover in there, and again the nettle bell flower. More marguerite there, a bed of asters for later on in the year, and a lovely big fern. The rose that's at the back of the pond, that's finished flowering now. It's all nice and lush over there, great for birds to dive into. The sparrows love it. Now if we go up the garden, the clematis is finished. That's the Montana, putting on new growth for next year. Red valerian is in flower. Some blackberries here, coming through from next door. Then we've got more raspberries and lots of blackberry. Can have a great crop this year. Can hear the bees in it. It's needs tying back a bit. I might come in and crop it up a bit because it's affecting other plants nearby. Yep, loads and loads of blackberry, and then the nettles coming up behind it, which are also in flower now. Again, can't see anything really on the nettles at all. No caterpillars to be seen. I had to move the hawthorn down to here while they were doing the tree surgery bit. Let's show you the gap that I had to make to get through. This is just beginning to produce its berries too. Leaf compost won't be as big this year because of the cherry tree being leafless almost, but there you go, you can see the skyline it's produced, and you see how it's affected the birch tree next to it. Right, have a look in the little pond, bucket pond. Nothing going on in there at the moment. No little flies, it's too cool. Buttercups, dock, honesty seeds, just starting to make a wood pile with some of the wood from the cherry. We're going to, the thicker pieces we're going to partially bury so they rot upright. They're a great source of food for beetles. If I show you this stump here, this stump is a leftover from a very large horse chestnut that came down in the garden a good 10 years ago. But you can see it's completely full of holes. Queen wasps were on it earlier in the year, and lots of activity from beetles on it, as you can see. So, and at the bottom there's a lovely moss growing on it. So yeah, they're great to have left in the ground like that. So we'll do that with some of the cherry. Compost bins, ferns, pyracanthus, damson that I keep cutting back, and they're thickening up nicely actually. The ivy over the piano, the biggest change is possibly coming up there in a minute. So here's the gap. This is where lots of the cherry is. I'll start clearing this after I finish this film. I've done my side ready, so I can start making a clear of that mountain of cherry that goes on all the way to the back. There we go. Not a lot to do, but I like working hard. I'll enjoy it. Clear it so it doesn't take as long as you think. So I've already sorted out wood for wood piles and for burial. Submerging for the beetles. This is sort of ash here. Again, I've just chopped the tops off to keep those under control each year. And all of this is the cherry that was on our side of the garden. I managed to clear this now. It took me 2 days. But you can see the dry hedges are mounting now. Lots of the ivy has been hidden by it, but it'll all grow through it. And once the leaves drop off, it'll just be wood. This side's looking great. I'm really pleased with this side where the fox den is. So I've left the entrance clear. And keep hoping and hoping. And then up here, it went all the way to the end, to that old bench there. Rescued the hazel, because it was all around the hazel, and the hazel's free. And this is a bamboo that's been here years. It doesn't grow more than that, but I've rescued that. That was flattened, and I've made space, so I shall put more along here and along there, keeping it away from the wall as much as possible. And yeah, there's plenty of room for more. That's where the foxes always enter, in that little gap over there, so they can get back in and out. Yeah, so there we go. Done really well, I think. Look at that, I love it. It's brilliant. It's going to be a fabulous place for hedgehogs, if you ever get one in the garden again. Beetles, birds nesting, wrens have nested in there in the past. So yeah, it's a lovely little den. It's lovely. Come down the hill. And I think we'll just stop there with the cherry tree as it is now. How green and lush it looks. That's the July update. I'll see you again in August. Hopefully it'll be sunnier and more insects will be out then. Thanks for watching.